Hey, what's up, guys? Mr. Mom Tanks. Bringing you the 15-gallon, guys. Just sitting here staring at this tank, really enjoying this tank right now. Thought I'd make a quick video, talk about a couple things. Let's talk about fish tanks for a couple minutes, guys. Really liking the progress on this tank so far, guys. It's in my bedroom. It's on my dresser. Gets a lot of face time. I stare at it every night. I mean, like all my tanks, I'm kind of a perfectionist. I can look at it and see imperfections and flaws in just about all of them. But this one is kind of making me smile, guys, because I'm just liking the way it's coming in. The Java moss all over this log is just looking wicked. Temple plant in the back's looking sick. You guys can see all the purling action going on. I guess we can talk about pressurized CO2 in here real quick and what I do. Kind of this, what you want to kind of look out for and watch out for running pressurized CO2. Generally what I do, guys, is it's pretty basic. In the mornings, I turn my lights on. I let my lights run for about an hour and before I turn my CO2 on. Then I turn the CO2 on, running about a bubble per second. It runs all day, and then about an hour before I turn the lights off, I turn the CO2 off, and then just give the plants, a little bit of time to adjust to the fallen CO2 levels before I turn off the lights. One thing you don't want to do with pressurized CO2 especially is let it run while your lights aren't on, because what's going to happen, or what could happen if you do that, is, for one, your pH could drop violently if you're running CO2 without your lights on. So that'd be the first thing you'd have to worry about, is your pH violently dropping overnight, and then which would also contribute to gassing your fish, because basically what's going to happen is your plants are also going to release CO2 at night when they're not going through their photosynthesis. So yeah, that's where gassing your fish comes in. So it's a lot easier to do that stuff with pressurized CO2 than it is with DIY CO2, because DIY CO2 is not as pure of a blend as what the pressurized CO2 is. So just something to consider, guys. I run both. I run pressurized and DIY. The DIY, honestly, I let it run 24/7. That thing just runs, but those tanks that runs in has plenty of aeration and everything going in that, and I'm not too worried about the pH stuff dropping in those tanks, mainly because they're bigger tanks, and they're just, I don't get the fluctuations that I would in a smaller tank. But a 15-gallon like this one is, a smaller tank, it's going to be more susceptible to those fluctuations. Same thing I'm getting here with the Pico tank that's kicking next to the 15-gallon here. Just got the LEDs on it right now because the lights are off for the night, but it's, that's only a 3-gallon tank, and it's pure difficult, guys, to keep the parameters right in that tank, because every little thing changing it. So same thing with the 15, guys. If you're running, pressurized CO2, if you don't already know, I'm sure if you're running it and you've been running it for a while, you already know these things because you've done the trial and error and you've made the mistakes on your own or whatever. But yeah, just make sure you're not running it at night, guys. I turn mine off an hour at least before I turn my lights off at night, just to give the plants kind of a time to take a breather and stuff before shutting down. So yeah, there it is, guys. A little bit of rambling for you. Quick shout out the Severum. Did a plant trade with the Severum, and yeah, she sent me some crenums, and I traded her for some sage and stuff. And I just want to let you know, Severum, I got your plants, good condition. Thanks a lot. I can't get crenums in my area, so I was pretty fired up when those came in the mail to actually have some crenums. So check out the purling, guys. Looking really good. So yeah, shout out to the Severum. If you haven't checked out her channel, do it, guys. And she's also on Fired Up Fish Tanks quite a lot, so really cool cat, and she knows quite a bit about what she's doing. So yeah, there it is, guys. There's the shout outs. You guys saw the Pico tank. I'll update that more in another video, and yeah, you guys know the rest. Thanks for sharing a few minutes of your weekend with me. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Thanks for hitting the like button, people. J Fletch Tanks, Mr. Mom Tanks. Fired up fishtanks.ning.com, guys. Check it out. Peace.